right, guys, so I've had my eyes on one of these for a while, and this one popped up, and I just couldn't pass it up. So this is a 1978 280Z, okay? So this is still the S30 chassis with some differences, okay? So like a Series 1 240, 260, they're a little different than this, not much. Okay, the body itself is pretty much exactly the same. They did do some differences as far as like safety. So these cars are a little bit heavier. They have a little bit more structure in the doors. Some of the metal's a little thicker, and all of that really had to do with like crash testing. Like the standards for crash tests in the United States changed, okay, during that time period. So they had to put like 5-mile-an-hour bumpers on it, which stuck out to like right here, which on here, they've been deleted already. And in the rear too, they just stuck out, and they had like this little accordion thing to where if you ran into something, you know, it would compress it, okay? But the thing is, it kind of takes away from the look of these cars. It made them look really goofy. So a lot of people do delete that. So this one's already been done. These are actually aftermarket, like fiberglass, little like fake bumpers. I don't know if I'm gonna keep those or not. Probably make that decision down the road. But yeah, I mean, this car is in super good condition for what it is, okay? The odometer says that it has 55,000 miles on it, and I actually believe that because most of these cars have quite a bit of rust, and this one really doesn't, okay? This one, it doesn't have any carpet in it, so you can see the floorboards, okay? It's pretty good. The only thing with this car is one of the previous owners jacked it up by the frame rail, which you're not supposed to do. So it dented the frame rail really bad in a bunch of spots, and the frame rail itself rusted out. Okay, so that may sound like a big deal, but it's really not. They sell frame rail kits for these cars that are pretty cheap, a couple $100. And it's the full length frame rail that you drill out all the spot welds, and you can replace it and you weld it in. So that's not that big of a deal. There is one tiny little hole in the floorboard on this side, somewhere, I think right here, which that's not a big deal either. So when we do the frame rails, we'll cut out whatever is bad there and we'll replace that. So, but other than that, I mean, the car itself, it's got some surface stuff going on, but none of it is actual like hard rust. It's not, nothing is through. It's all surface rust. Yeah, I mean, everything, it looks really solid. So up in the hinge areas, this is a common area for them to rust out, and this one is not. Okay, there's no holes whatsoever. The drip rail here, it's not rusted out. It's in good shape. This back panel here is notorious for being just completely rotted out because water comes down here and sits. And this one is totally fine. Okay, you got where the seam sealer was, you have a little tiny bit of, but this is all surface stuff, no big deal. What else? Yeah, okay, so some of the other differences are the 280s, this year 280 is fuel injected, okay? So that's another difference that makes it a little bit heavier too, because you have more wiring, you have more, plenum here, you have throttle body, you have air box, you have, like I said, more wiring and fuel injection system, so that adds weight as well, okay? So another spot that you can really check on these is underneath the battery, which this one is in really good shape. You can see it's not rusted out. Normally, under here, you can usually see to the floor on these cars. And if it looks this good, that's a pretty good indication that the rest of the car is gonna be okay too. So yeah, I mean, like I said, there's some spots here, but this will all get done. This will all get stripped, and I do plan on repainting it the same color. This is called Racing Green. Here's the paint code here. Paint code is 240, which is, it's Racing Green. That's the color. So most of the chrome is in pretty good shape, not too bad. There's a little issue here. I don't know, it's got a missing piece. A lot of the rubber trim needs to be replaced. This rubber strip here looks pretty good. Some of the felts on the inside probably could be replaced, but there are companies that make that and to replace it. So yeah, I mean, the door jambs are really good. There's no rust in here. It's pretty solid car for what it is. These cars are getting super rare. I looked on Bring a Trailer before I even went to buy this car, and 280z's in decent shape with a good paint job are going between 20 and 22,000. The 240s are 40, 50,000 and up. So recently a 240 Series 1 240 with 21,000 miles on it, and ironically enough, the same color, Racing Green, sold for $310,000 on Bring a Trailer. So these cars are they're just getting more rare, okay? And people are starting to catch on to the fact that the 280s are not much different than the 240s. So those are starting to get bought up, okay? So I paid $8,000 for this car. It was originally listed for $11,000. And then he came down to $9,000, and then I ended up getting it for $8,000. So I know it's a little high, I think, but you got to keep in mind that these cars, okay, when they built these in Japan, they were using metal that rusts like crazy. So these cars are just getting more rare because they're just getting they're sitting in fields and rusting out, and basically the planet is being deleted of 240s and 280s. It's just the nature of them. They're just going to get more rare, okay? So, yeah, I mean, I went ahead and jumped on this one. It's, the interior is a little bit rough. The guy tried to, he planned on switching it to black interior, but I want to go back to the original, and he gave me the original seats. They need to be reupholstered, but the actual mechanisms and all that, it's in really good shape, okay? There's really nothing wrong with them other than they're ripped. So these can be redone and reused. I think that putting it back to original would be the best way to go, and as far as getting the most value out of it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's in good condition. Got a bunch of parts in the back here that he gave me. Some of the brown stuff. Here's a cowl panel that it actually doesn't even need. This one here is in actually really good shape, but he said just take it and you can sell it. Like this one here is perfect. So yeah, so I won't be starting on this car for a little while, just because I want to get the Mustang done, and I'm getting pretty close. I've got most of the body work done on it, okay? And I've got the trunk painted, I've got the hood painted, I've got both fenders painted. I'm starting to work on the doors. This is the driver door. I did all the inner jambs up underneath. That's all done. Looks really good. There's a bug there. But yeah, I mean, look at the underneath these doors. They're just pristine. There was hardly any rust in here, and I was gonna do, seam sealer, but man, it's in such good condition that I think that sealing it with the clear coat is gonna be enough. And I didn't want to kind of make it look ugly with, seam sealer everywhere. So where I can avoid doing seam sealer, I'm going to avoid it. So yeah, like I said, took it all apart, kind of did some self-etching primer and some spots that were a little bit surface rust. But again, this car here is super solid. There's really no significant rust on this. But yeah, like I said, I want to kind of get this car done before I start on this one. So once the Mustang is complete, we'll start blowing this apart and start the body work and doing the frame rails on this. Up here, I have all of the parts that I've already painted, and these look all really good. I mean, it's coming out like amazing. I'm doing much better than I used to on the paint. So yeah, fender, front bumper, rear bumper, trunk, fender. So yeah, we're also, this is painted black. I'm gonna make everything black on the interior too. So anyway, that's just a little update on the Mustang. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I tune in. I'm gonna be working on this, but just not yet. And I'm not 100% sure what to do with the drivetrain because, gosh, it runs so good. I mean, this thing fires up like instantly and runs really nice, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we got the 2J over here that would definitely fit in here, inline 6. So, but anyway, guys, I don't want to drag this video out too long. So hope you all enjoy it and follow along if you guys want to see some 280Z content. So anyway, check you all later.